The story of this show was a young man named Derek.
Derek Wild.
Derek, that it?
Was it Derek Wild?
I wrote it down here somewhere. Derek, God damn it. Derek Cross.
Derek Cross. Who's Derek Wild? That's not a porn star.
Derek Wildstar was from Star Blazers.
All I know is that Derek here spells his name DerYck, so he's already got a strike against him in my book.
Sure. So, the story of this show was that, well, first of all, we were told that Derek was a... French Stallion does not like Derek.
No.
He says Derek is just a guy who's playing pro wrestler. He doesn't even look like one. The
French Stallion, by the way, is in fine shape.
Oh, yeah.
He's a man who trains 5 days a week, he says, and he does...
In a variety of styles. They showed him doing some awesome neck bridge work.
Bridges, amateur wrestling, the whole 9 yards.
Yep. So Derek walks up to this man and says, how you doing? And French Stallion says, hello, fat boy. And Derek's asked, why did you call me fat boy? And Stallion says, look at you. You're fat.
Yep.
Awesome.
He is a fine man.
So...
The French Stallion does not fuck around.
that was what we learned on this show.
Yes. The French Stallion will tell you what he's thinking.
Lance Storm put them through the mat drill. That's what it's called. Where you do mat wrestling while at the same time trying to express your character. And I thought to myself, perhaps Matt Cross needed to learn this drill.
Yeah.
So, Derek Cross was not sure how to express his character while mat wrestling, and so he opted to go with the option where you sodomize another man.
He did.
He humped a guy.
He took him down with a go behind.
Appropriately.
And the man was on his belly, his ass up in the air.
Yeah.
And Derek Wild, the porn star, apparently mounted him from behind.
Right.
And not only did he mount him and put his penis where this fella's ass was, but after he got in that position, he then proceeded to hump.
Yeah. He rammed his pelvis, the front of his pelvis, into the back of the pelvis of his opponent. They replayed this several times in slow-mo.
Yes.
But in slow-mo with flamenco music.
Yes.
That was a win.
Yes.
So, French Stallion said that Derek had no talent, so he had to compensate by doing something outrageous. And he was also doing this to hide his fat mess of a body. They showed T-Bone, who was the man Derek Cross was humping. They showed him on screen.
Ironically, T-Bone.
And as he was speaking, the graphic read, T-Bone, recently violated.
That's what it said.
I defy you to name me a better television program than
You can't find one. You cannot find one.
This is how TV is done. So, it was time to cut promos. Everyone else was talking fairly generically about how they were... One guy just said, I am the devil. Yeah. That was a good line, but everyone else was just like, I'm the best, I'll beat everyone, you can't hang with me. What the fuck was I? Oh, so.
The promo contest.
Yes. Derek was not sure what he was going to say, so he gets in front of the camera, and everyone's watching him, and he takes a moment to collect his thoughts, and the room is silent, and you hear the French Stallion mutter, so fat. French Stallion rules. So then Derek gets a promo, which I will summarize just by saying
Don't summarize. What he said, I don't have this written down, but he came out there and he started being creepy. And the conclusion was, hide your daughters, hide your wives, and while you're at it, hide your sons and fathers.
Yes.
He was
going to rape them, you see.
He's going to rape everyone.
Everyone.
His character is a serial rapist
of
who does
all
not
genders.
Specify.
No,
he is a serial indiscriminate rapist
and an
which, by the way, would
insatiable
be a
sexual
hell of a
predator.
name. His fucking idea was this.
Derek is apparently he had lines like he was going to ride. The creepiest part was not that he was going to rape men and women. He was going to rape the men and women in this room.
Yeah.
He talked about how he wanted to ride the French Stallion, lance the knight, and eat the T-bone.
Yes.
So he finishes. There is the world's most awkward silence as everyone on camera has just been threatened with violation and penetration. And Lance collects his thoughts and then simply says, Well, if you're going to rape people, you really need to have creepier facials. He took this completely serious.
Well, to be fair, he did start by going, okay.
I'm not saying this to knock Lance.
If you are going to rape someone.
Yes, this is how you should do it.
I believe his advice was you need to be more pasty.
He was something about facial expressions, but
yes,
the comedy of transposing Lance Storm with this guy's idea that raping people equals money.
Yeah.
This cannot be duplicated. This cannot be faked. There's only one person in the world who could have made this work this well, and it's Lance Storm. God, this is funny.
You know what's amazing about this show is I would not be in the least bit surprised if, like, the producers went up to this Derek fella and they said, all right, listen, we need to add some excitement to this show. We want your character to be an indiscriminate serial rapist. And Derek's like, okay, I'll do my best. But the point is, even the story of this show, of him trying to come up with a character, what a character he was, trying to come up with his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This show did a phenomenal job creating the character of Derek. The guy who decided that he wants to be a serial rapist as his wrestling character. It show did a remarkable job. And you look at wrestling today, and it's like they couldn't create a character to save their lives.
No.
And here in a half hour, they created a character out of a guy who wants to be a wrestler. And
so
of all
bad,
the things he could be in the world, he wants to be a serial rapist character.
He wants to wrestle so bad he's willing to rape you.
Yes.
So Derek then decided that he was going to live the gimmick. And he was being creepy as they were lifting weights, and he was touching people's asses and rubbing against them as they were standing in the hallway. Everyone hated him. And then he was doing some spots with the French Stallion, and he was doing the comedy gay spots that like Goldust as a babyface would do, and French Stallion was freaking out like a heel should do. It was great.
Yes.
And then Stallion went, or Derek went a little too far when he actually pulled his trousers down and rubbed his ass.
The French Stallion, first off, you know, obviously they were trying to play up like the French Stallion was not comfortable with this gimmick.
Yeah.
But if you're not comfortable with a guy's gay gimmick, you don't do a go behind, okay? You just don't.
You punch and kick him.
So he does a go behind on the guy that's doing the gay gimmick, and as he's behind him, the French Stallion's penis, quite frankly, is in close proximity to the Prince of Perversion's ass. The Prince of Perversion, Derek, pulls his trunks down. Like, he exposes his ass to the French Stallion's penis.
Yeah.
The French Stallion could take no more. And this was where even Lance was like, oh, okay, hold on a second. We're going a little too far here.
So Stallion stormed out. He got an angry promo backstage. That was the first time in my life I had my face rubbed in a man's crotch.
That's what we said.
So it was time for the live show. They were getting ready to go. Derek explained to the camera that he thought this Prince of Perversion gimmick was money.
Money, he said.
That's what his exact words, money. People hear, this guy's going to rape someone. I got to pay to see that. So 5 minutes before the match, Stallion panicked. He begged Derek not to do anything gay out there, but Derek said he was going to. And then, when the lights were on and he was in the ring,
Derek
choked.
had erectile dysfunction.
He did.
He could not perform. That's what happened here.
He brought a noodle to a sword fight. Yes, he couldn't bring himself to be gay. So they did their match, and I don't even know who won. It really doesn't matter.
I know who won. It was Derek. He kicked him in the nuts and then small packaged him.
All right, then.
Mm-hmm.
Backstage,
pay attention, for Christ's sake.
He was disconsolate. Is that the right word? He was sad.
Thank you, Vince. Speaking of erectile dysfunction.
Indeed. Wait, no. Different. Anyway. So, yeah, he was getting a pep talk and advice from the other guys, and they were telling him, be more gay.
That's basically what they were telling him.
It's not the exact words, but this is the message. So then it was time for the evaluation. This is the part where if it was tough enough, Steve Austin would be an asshole and cut a loud screaming promo.
Actually, you don't know. I don't know if you I don't think you listened to the last Lance show. Maybe you did. But Lance revealed a secret.
Oh.
And that is that exactly one time he said to someone, you know why you haven't made it? And they have now proceeded to take that quote and put it at the beginning of every evaluation.
That's funny.
He was baffled upon seeing how many times he said this, and then he realized, I only said it once.
Well, the reason Derek has not made it is because he's a jack of all trades, master of none. This is Lance's very nice way of saying, you need to get better at everything. Which is, he was not the worst wrestler I ever saw, but he is not going to get signed anytime soon.
Well, Vince, you would think that, except the chick in the first episode was signed.
Well, she had big boobs. That's what they're looking for.
I can go into the supermarket and find 10 girls with big boobs.
Well, what are we doing here? Anyway, yeah, the show was pretty the ending there was pretty anticlimactic. Lance told him to keep working at it and get better, and it ended. But the first 27 minutes of this was just gold.
It was awesome.
A great show.
It was awesome.